It's just nothing but bad news out here. This time it's Phantom Revenge. Make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So Wednesday, I read a post from a local game store saying, hey, Phantom Revenge is going to be delayed, so are Legendary 5Ds decks. And this was the day before Thanksgiving. I'm like, Phantom Revenge being delayed. Did they just not? Maybe he messed up. Maybe he thought Phantom Revenge was supposed to come out this week because the release date is 12/5. So I didn't think most about it, but I left a post in our Discord and I said, hey, evidently Phantom Revenge is going to be delayed. So another person reached out to their distro, and their distro said the same thing. Phantom Revenge is being delayed. That's two accounts of this. So this morning, yes, I know, talking to people like 2-3 a.m. Talked to a friend of mine, confirmed the same thing. Phantom Revenge is being delayed. Why is nobody talking about this right now? Why are we're coming off of two sets, and also the Legendary 5Ds decks aren't even at locals or LGSs right now. I do have confirmation that evidently Best Buy had the Legendary 5Ds decks, and I think my friend said that his Walmart in the middle of Bumble, Wyoming has them now, which means they are rolling out to retailers this week. But what about your local LGS? To my other friend who owns a store, they're not getting their decks until next week. That's 12/4, 12/5 for LGSs to be supposedly getting this. Now, does this apply to every LGS? No, but if they're just now getting this, okay. So that's on the 5Ds decks. So what's going on with Phantom Revenge? Well, the only thing I have heard for Phantom Revenge is, this release date, no valid anymore. No. This is only for America, by the way. But Konami left the office. They just rolled on out. And there was no mention of this. This was just something that we'll probably see Monday, Tuesday, the inevitable, oh my God, it's delayed. But not what we're seeing at this point. So I don't know how long it's going to be delayed. One I've heard a week. I've heard up to 2 weeks for Phantom Revenge. Now what's going on with this? Some interesting background for you here that you might not know, especially when we're looking at the people that make these products. Some interesting background. The Millennium Print Group is actually the same printers that Pokemon uses. Now you're probably like, whoa. Why is Yu-Gi-Oh! Using Pokemon's printers? Why not? I mean, the people that make these are still a company. They're still a business. Yu-Gi-Oh! Still has to have, a printing company. So if you don't know right now, Pokemon is also going through some problems. A little bit of detail into this from what I have heard, and I've not necessarily seen, but Pokemon, these drops for these latest sets have been coming out in multiple waves. I think we just have a set or have an upcoming. It's one of the two. I don't remember details, but it was in 4 waves, and you're just like, okay, well, why are we seeing this? Don't know. If we're seeing Yu-Gi-Oh! Being delayed here because of the printer, and Pokemon's also experiencing the same thing, it's got to be printing issues. I also am pretty sure that with a recent ETB, Pokemon just printed it into the ground and just ran out of the materials. Like, they printed all the way down to the point that they had no materials left to print. Now, you're going to have the one occasional bystander that's going to listen to this bad news video, and they're not going to understand. They're not going to understand the connection to why the fuck Pokemon's problems are Yu-Gi-Oh's problems. They are two completely different games, Robbie. You don't know what the fuck you're talking. Well, hate to tell you this, buddy, but this is a I certainly fucking told you so video, and you can sit here and you can piss, shit, and moan all you want. All right? Point is, there's something going on at the Millennium Printing Group right now that is just causing delays out the ass. Now, I'm hoping that the reason for these delays is been addressed by Konami by what you saw was the massive delays of products next year. You know, you're not getting Burst Protocol until January. So whatever problems are happening right now on the printers, I'm hoping that that's addressed with the giant backlog of time that the holidays are going to create. Now, I'm assuming that, you know, this being a company of some gigantic scales, I'm assuming they're going to get some amount of time off of the holidays. I assume that the printers are going to not be going burr throughout that time. And I'm assuming there will be some sort of calm down point at that stage, which should actually allow, you know, some sort of calm down. I mean, look at this. You know, we look at these prices on these pre-sales right now, and you're like, oh, you know, like, I don't want to pick these up right now, you know, discount code M40 over on Gamer's Choice, save you on your purchase, but you might not like these prices, but, you know, for whatever delay and whatever BS is going to be causing, at least this guarantees you, you know, the pickup for this, and you're not going to have to lose your mind over dealing with, you know, having to pick the stuff up. Overall, I would expect, if whatever we're hearing coming down, by the way, there's a snowstorm this weekend, so I mean, you can definitely expect some more slight delays on certain things. It's such a weird time of year right now, because it's like companies want to push out the rest of this stuff. You know, people look at Phantom Revenge like this is a dog shit set. You know, I don't want this. Okay. But to the people that do want it, I mean, we're seeing internal issues. Now, by the way, none of this has to do with anything with Europe. All right. If you're European and you're watching this video and you're just like, oh, you know, my product's going to be, no. Your printers are on some other mystical land that I don't hardly know anything about. I don't know. I think they're located in Belgium or something. I don't know. That's not my current concern. But from what I'm seeing and hearing right now, North American release going to be delayed on this. Very strange that Konami left the office and didn't even manage to tell anybody about that, but toodaloo, I guess. La-di-da-di-da, me walking out the front door, not even caring. It's the holidays. That being said, though, everybody, I hope everybody's had a good Black Friday. I hope everything's good. I hope that this announcement doesn't detour you. In terms of what we'll be watching the market all week here. We will continue to see, you know, if the Legendary 5Ds decks basically go crippling crazy. I mean, like I said, these things are available at Target. FUAs are down to like $10 now, you know, or excuse me, the good Molcharmy Meows. Perulias are still like $13 for some reason. And I mean, your dip downs are constantly coming from like the oddities of the set, like these $2 cards that you look at and you're like, you wouldn't think of these things actually are going to be worth something, but the value across the board in this set, it's some of the most insane I've ever seen. And if you can get them, if you go out today and you go to Walmart and you do see these out in the open, you know, the sheer amount of $1.50, $2 cards, I am curious to know, since, you know, we are on so much delay, how it's going to take the market, how long the impact, how long the drop's going to take for this to happen, because that's a very interesting thought. You don't think about these things until, you know, it's happening, but this should keep you in the loop. You should have a little bit of an idea what batshit craziness is happening. And, well, I mean, this is the last set, one of the two last sets of the year. Konami patting down their wallets, getting ready for 2025. So, check out all of our friends down below, yada, yada, yada. What a mystical time to be alive. Yeah, I don't get paid enough to report on this to have half my comment section tell me I'm batshit crazy. But those of you that listen, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.